Testing, testing. All right. I think we're all set. All right. Let us see. Last thing I was doing was rebalancing abilities, so I think I want to continue doing that. But I kind of might be done, or it might be good enough for this first pass. I think. What's up, Infinite Coder? How's it going? 20 minutes. What are you leaving in 20 minutes for? Or are you? Is that what you're saying? 20 minutes for? Sorry, I just woke up, so my brain's still in. I'm still in brain fog mode. Oh, sorry. That is a unit of time. Or minutes is a unit of time. What's up, Penguin Operator? How's it going? Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I get it now. Sorry, I'm a little bit slow. I literally just rolled out of bed, made some coffee, and then here I am. So I'm gonna make a commit here, I think. Wish you could stream right out of bed, just stream from your bed. You probably could if you got everything over there. You probably could do that. Let me add this to um well, I did actually two things. One thing I did was abilities now have a remote effect and they have a local effect. So the remote effect is different sometimes from the local effect. Um, so I'm gonna write that. Abilities now have a local effect. I almost wrote a effect with an A. A local effect and a remote effect that are sometimes different depending on the ability prices. We also rebalanced some ability mana costs and status buff sizes. How about that? Give me 1 second. My coffee was brewing. I think it's probably done now, and I need the jolt. All right, we have coffee now. We're getting everything together. Okay, I'll extend that commit with this little message. All right, let's see what we have. This is the thing I was working. This was like the group of things I was working on. Show that the full. Yeah, or I had two ideas for this. One idea was that I was going to have an ability and have a cooldown system with the ability, because the problem I have with some abilities is that like if I wanted to do a heal, if I wanted to do a heal spell, the problem is if I make it powerful heal spell for one person, then everybody has a really powerful heal spell, and if the spell is the same for everybody, then people can just infinite heal by staggering the heal spell. So what I did to fix that last time was uh I made like the Elderwood book, which gives you heal over time, increases your health regen over time. Um, but in general, I wanted to have either two different tiers of spell, one for remote, one for local. I think that's the way I went. And then this was a different idea where I'd have like a cooldown system where you get the high ability one, but I think I'm not going to do that. So I think that was an either or sort of situation. Categorize shared abilities based on the sort of benefit they provide. This is kind of the thing I was just doing for the balancing stuff. Oh, this was this was for the cooldown idea. Oops. This was more of a I need to think about this though. This was one thing I don't really love about the ability system is it's only books. I think it'd be cool to have other items as well that do specific things. Um, so I might make it more of like an offhand slot rather than like a spellbook slot. But that's really just that's kind of a simple change. That's more of an aesthetic change rather than a, you know. Okay. That's the ability rework for this patch at least. Okay. This one needs to be pushed. One other thing I added was I added Inside of town, there's a sign that used to be like a welcome sign, but now it's a now you can purchase teleporters from it, which I think is a nice improvement. So you have to run to teleporters. You can purchase them directly from your bank as well. So you don't have to have the stuff with you. You just have to have it in your bank somewhere. Okay. Recall to town. I'm gonna move this to our done list. All right, I can check this off because they give you a backpack now from the first quest. One thing I was also gonna do was rework the what's it called? The backpack interaction system. Oh, why'd I close this? Let me pick up a backpack. I was thinking since this game is becoming so resource heavy, I was thinking of making this more of a center screen backpack sort of deal. Where are the backpacks? I know they're down here. Oh, there it is. And I was gonna give it way more slots, like rows of 8 sort of deal, almost like a little mini bank. I'm trying to like. There's just so many ways I could go with this. I'm just not sure. Let me just think about the problems we have right near now. I mean, the main problem is that at least the main problem I've experienced with testing, because I've mostly been doing early game testing, is that on your very first playthrough, you go and kill like there's just more things that you get. Like I already have 2 items, right? And I've just killed 2 crabs. And the things stack now, which was a problem before. Um, but now I've got my 3rd item. Well, I mean I have a bunch of stuff filling up, but anyways. Eventually your inventory fills up, especially because of food, because food's not stackable. I wonder. I just missed them a bunch. Hmm. Yeah, and then you go kill a boss maybe on your first run through. And it's pretty much over, right? You're just like, you can't take all the stuff out with you because your backpack is completely full, which I think is a bad loop. Because each of these take a whole new slot, you know? How much XP do I have? 23. So I have 23 XP and I've already filled up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my 7 of my 8 slots. Like that's the main problem. And I get that like you don't necessarily need to take all of these mana berries home with you, but I think new players just don't know that. Hmm. What to do? It's like here's a new item. Also, I got a new sword or a new weapon. This thing's way better. Yeah, but just things fill up too much. So it's like you just have to. The player just has to know that they can run home. That they need to go home to bank. Maybe this isn't as big of a deal as I thought it was. I mean, to some degree, like people just need to go back. Or I think the thing I need to think through is I need to decide how long a brand new player needs to be in the sphere versus how frequently they should be like recalling. And I think that if I want people to be in the sphere mostly and not have to continually recall, then having more backpack space is probably okay. So now I'm kind of leaning towards giving people like 8 slots maybe. Maybe I give people 8 slots as their default backpack, just one bar. Do a center bar backpack, and then make a button for the backpack. And or maybe I put the backpack button up here. Does anything else go up here? Maybe the trade menu does. Or sorry, the yeah, like the merchant menu pops up here. So I'm just thinking of how to like formalize this. But there needs to be restrictions on backpacks. Like food cannot be placed in backpacks. Otherwise, people could just have infinite food with them. Which I guess is that really that big of a deal? Because I think people the expectation here with backpack is that I can do this thing when you drag or you drag it, a little drop box shows up here to like drop into your backpack. But the logic will be pretty much the same. It's just the fact that this is gonna pop up here like a big thing. It doesn't have to be there, but it could be over here, I guess. Or maybe I pop it down here, or like over here. Your backpack. What else goes over here? Just the item like this menu is down here. So I could do a backpack chunk like right here or something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows of 8. So I'm just like I'm visualizing this. Uh Maybe resources always go to the backpack. And the backpack either changes to be a center screen thing. The problem with putting in the center screen is like people want to look at their backpack really quick. They want to be still be able to see their character. So that's why I don't want to put it in the middle. But also I do want it to be kind of disruptive. So maybe in the middle is okay. Yeah, but it's just tricky because I don't want people to have the expectation that they're going to be able to heal directly out of their backpack. Maybe I do just put it here. Because 8 would go to like here maybe. So it'll take up half the screen. The problem is on smaller screens, it's going to overlap that probably. Aspect ratios are always so tricky. But I think the idea is correct. Also, it does fix some bugs where like sometimes people get stuff stuck in their backpacks. I think it's a migration problem from older databases to new databases, but hmm. Is there an anvil back there? Interesting. You can left click it, removes it. Let's see. If it did pop up in the middle, would I like that? It would make it so you could really only access it in safe areas. But when you loot stuff, it would go straight into your backpack. So like it's not like you're yeah, maybe I just try it out. Because I already have this feature where looting things will go straight into your backpack. So then the only difference is that there'll be like a backpack button here, like a little thing that looks like a bag or something. Or whatever I use for the bank icon, I'll probably use the same one. I think it looks like this. They'll have that icon here. Then you can just click open and now you remove this button. Move the button there as a backpack icon. And then it'll be a full screen backpack. What else could I put there? Would I merge that with this? Or just a basic backpack? Like it feels like I should have something with it. I think I keep it separate from this though. Okay, I think we have a plan. I think I'm just gonna let people put food in their backpack though, because I think by making the backpack this like um, full screen pop up thing, I think people will understand that it's not for eating out of. And if people want to bring infinite food with them and never return to bank, that's okay. I think. Like I guess I don't see a big problem with that because they still have to get through every room. It's just that they can regenerate their food as they're going. And I think I'll give people 8 backpack slots. Okay. I think this kind of works. All right, let's do this. We'll do the great big backpack rework. I was all week this week. I wasn't sure what to do, so. Okay, what to do first? I think the first thing we'll do is we'll do this one first. The one downside though is I feel like I need to start making backpacks in terms of 8. I could do it. I guess I could do half of 8, maybe 4 slots. I don't think my game is a I don't think Mythfall is a inventory management sort of game. But it is kind of a build optimization game. So building towards a backpack that's the right size is a thing that people have to do, I think. Well, do I always want to give people backpack space? Because I give them a backpack. Maybe I don't do that actually. Because I give them a backpack when they complete Fragments of the Veil, they get a backpack. If I make a backpack purchasable from the merchant, you can also craft a backpack, the starter backpack from the loom. Hold on, let me see if it's purchasable here. I'll add it to the store if it's not. I mean, you can buy this and craft it, I guess. It's really not that hard. It's just multiple steps. I mean, the thing is, it's not hard to get a backpack, and you're given one at the very start, so. Sorry, I have a hot reloader bug. Okay. How do you make a loom? I think you just need, where is it? There it is. It's just wood and a lot of fiber. You can make a loom. And then a backpack's probably just fiber. Hmm. I'm trying to remember what backpack you get. It's called like small backpack. Yeah. Gives you 4 slots. I'm trying to think. Well, right now you can put food in this, right? So it's not like I'm really saving that much. Well, so then if I don't do that, then what's my whole change? Is my whole change just center screen pop up? I think I don't do this because I think that people will just drop it, drag and drop it in. I don't think I'm gonna do that. And then I get it from this. So really it's just moving it to the center screen. I don't know if that's really worth it. Like it feels like I'm ending up not making like any changes. What's up, Earth? How's it going? Hmm. Maybe I backburner this just because I don't really have a good vision of what I want it to be. Like it's just so close to what I want already that I don't know if I want to change it really. Do I want to do this? I guess it would remove the one expectation. Well, hold on. I want to give people more backpack space. So I guess I do want to do it. But I mean, I could do a center screen pop up for the backpack, and then people could just drag and drop in between, in and out of it. So it's totally fine. It's super easy to do. Um, hmm. I guess let's just do a little mock-up of it, and we'll see. Since that's the only real change, we'll do the center screen one with this. This has one. This has 8, 9, 10. But like, I'm gonna double all of these. So instead of 8, you're gonna have like 16 or something like that. Uh, I mean, I guess I could just pop it up here. Maybe do a backpack button. I don't really want to go. I don't really want to go any higher. But I could go off angle, like maybe put it in this X section, and that could look good. But in that case, I may as well just do 4 and then 4 more. So it just like hangs over here. Maybe that's the right section for it. Let's try that. Let's just do it there and we'll see. That's actually, I'll just probably just recode the one that I have already. Backpack. It's probably in the inventory. Actually, I want to do this. I want to do inventory. Whenever I do the inventory render, I probably do the backpack, like, there we go, backpack overlay. All right. I'm going to, or how do I have a fresh git tree? I'm just going to edit this. 8. I wonder what that'll do actually. It's either going to squish 8 into here, which you're probably going to do. It's either going to squish 8 slots into this section, or it'll, I don't think it's going to expand it. Num slots, backpack config num slots, num y. Oh, this is based off of the, yeah. So we don't want that. So we just need to change the rectangle that gets passed into here. Yeah, so the backpack rect is computed. Cut bottom 50. I guess this is the 50. Oh, no, no. I actually don't understand that. What happens if I do this? I'm kind of confused on why. Yeah, I guess I don't need that. So really it's just on the sidebar. I think originally I was just cutting a section out for the backpack, but I think what happens is inside of, or this is really just making the maximum height that I would have let it do. Because in backpack overlay, I must calculate a height somewhere, right? Rect, cut bottom. Yeah, I calculate the height here. So we don't need this anymore. Get item, backpack config. This is like the cape slot item. We get the backpack config from the cape. The only downside with this, doing it this way is that it doesn't let me, like if I made it a general stat, then, what's it called? I wouldn't have to, it wouldn't be like contingent on the cape existing. So it's kind of coded that way already, so I'll just leave it for now. Yeah, the problem is I have this sidebar concept, and this is the sidebar, this section up here, like this bar on the side. So I really need to like take the sidebar and multiply the width by 2, or really like double the width to the left. I don't really have a function for that though. But it's really just taking the minimum. It's not a complicated thing. It's just taking the rectangles are like a point in the bottom left and a point in the top right. So I just have to take the minimum x dot min dot x minus equals dot width. I think that's it. So I take the minimum and I subtract out the width, and that essentially just doubles the, or like expands it to the left by its width. Okay, there we go. Doesn't look bad. It's a little bit more encroaching, which is okay. Because if I'm going to double all the backpacks, then or let me go to assets, auto, item, cape. Like if I give 8 slots for this one, I wonder if I want to make constants at the top. What's 16 plus 8? It is 24. 32. Okay. I guess I could make this the whole backpack config. Hold on, let's do let's look for max slots. We'll just replace this string with max slots backpack 1. Max slots. We'll do 6 pocketed. Yeah, we'll do this backpack 2 max slots. Backpack 2. Whoops. All right, we'll place that with that. Then we'll do 8. Backpack 3. I'm gonna replace 10. Backpack 3. I thought there was a 14. Yeah, how am I not finding this one? Oh, there's 12 as well. I guess I was searching the wrong thing. Okay. All right. Let's go look at it now. I guess I could keep the button in the same spot then. Like if I'm just going to leave it here. Let me get a smaller. I just want to get a few different sizes. I think making it divisible by 8 though just makes it a lot easier. Where is the backpacks? There are the backpacks. There's a small one. That's got 8 as well. 24. Small. This should be 16, I think. Do you use AI to help you develop faster? Not for Mythfall. Not for Mythfall, but I've used it for other things. Yeah, this should be 8, 16. Yeah, this should be 16. That's 32. Let me fix the medium backpack. I think this should be 2 as well. Do you not use it for Mythfall because you enjoy hand coding or because you think it won't help much in practice? The problem I have with AI programming is, well, Mythfall is a very complicated thing, and there's a lot of like nuance to making changes. So if you change like one little thing here, it impacts a ton of other things elsewhere. And when I find that when I do like AI programming, it's not gonna like think through all of that stuff. And then because I'm not thinking through it, it just gets completely missed. So like yes, I will probably finish faster. I'd finish tasks faster, but it would and maybe now, like I have used it on Mythfall before, but mostly for like trying to figure out some problem that I have. Like, what's an example? Or like brainstorming solutions I've used it for, if that makes sense. Like I had a problem with my game crashing in browser sometimes. And it was a really like hard to understand stack trace. And I think it was able to figure it out because I haven't had people complain about it in a while. Let me see. CMD, client, broad. There was this one thing, mem profile rate, that I guess it was like the game would runtime crash in WebAssembly sometimes because I guess it was profiling and it would cause some issue. So it was able to know that like, oh, setting this to 0 turns off the internal like runtime memory profiling, and made it crash a lot less. So like it was helpful. It's helpful to find stuff like I never would have found that. You know, like I don't know how it understood this was the problem. So I've used it a lot for debugging. Like I have an issue and I just need it to like I need to brainstorm some kind of solution. Just the problem I have with it for like programming stuff is I end up not understanding how my program works, and I think Mythfall's at the point where it's too complicated to do that. So, and also Mythfall's like pretty much built, if that makes sense. Like I have used it for like some editor menus, which was really helpful because I didn't really care like how it's coded. I just want it to work. Like let me show you. Like for stuff like that, I've used it, like self-contained things that are kind of throwaway code. It's just oh, Well, thank you for the 40 bits, man. Appreciate it. On-screen celebration. Oh, does it show something on the thing? I guess I can't really look at my own stream, but anyways, I have a skill tree and I have this other skill tree as well. This is the permanent progression skill tree, and this is like the character skill tree. So I wanted a way to like easily drag and drop these things around. So like it was able to build this. The rendering code is all the same code that I use for the in-game skill tree renderer, but the ability to like drag and drop stuff and like make connections like this, it did all of that. So um like it was handy just to like not have to do that. Like let Jim and I like run for a little bit and like figure it out. It had a few bugs after it. It shows hearts on the screen. Oh, cool. Yeah, I can't really see my. I don't have the stream. Like it doesn't show on my Twitch thing, my Twitch console or whatever it's called. But it was helpful for stuff like this. It's been helpful for a few like race condition problems that I've had too. Like but yeah, it's nice for little things like that. But I don't really use it for features, I guess. Just because I need to understand how all of my features work. But also, a lot of my features are already written. So at this point, like, I'm just like tweaking numbers and like adjusting balance and adding new monsters and stuff like that. Like, I'm not really adding like tons of crazy features. And the features I am adding, like, I don't think it would be able to really do them as well as I'd want it to be. Yeah, that makes sense. The key is not to lose the world model in the brain for all the complex stuff. Easy to lose understanding if you're just like AI rip, but great for tools, non-core auxiliary stuff. Yeah, I totally agree with that. But yeah, I have used it for a few other things. Like I'm like for also for like cluster management stuff. It's pretty good at that stuff as well. And like Docker files and all of that stuff. And that stuff's pretty declarative too. So it's just kind of like you just need to put the words in the right spot to get what you want. But it's kind of sometimes hard to know what the right words are, I guess. So thank you, man, for the 100 bits. Appreciate it. Super generous. Appreciate that. But yeah. But yeah, I like to vibe code a little bit, and so I've kind of learned my lessons that way, which is unfortunate because it'd be super nice to just like tell it what to do and have it solve everything 100% how I would want it to be solved. But um, like I tried to make a programming language, and it did not go very well. Where I would just specify the language and then like have it build me what I wanted, and it was pretty rough. You know, just becoming a vibe coder, yeah, kinda. I do think though, I think probably for like general web services, I think it's going to do like a perfectly fine job. Um, just for this, there's just way too many like nuanced requirements, I feel like, for a video game. But also, how's it going, Dracula? How are you doing today? I think I do like this sizing changes. Oh, I thought I picked up all the backpacks. I wanted to see the different sizes. Let me go ahead and just grab a few. I want a 16. All right, we've got 24, 32, 8, 16. Looks fine, I feel like. I use VS Code AI browser, share with Copilot to click my website elements and do the test. It's great. Oh yeah, Gemini or the what's it called? Anti-gravity has that as well. It'll like it does like a screen recording of it interacting with your browser somehow, and it'll like click buttons and make sure things pop up and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it's pretty wasteful in terms of tokens though. You're not gonna lie, for web dev, a lot of programmers on our team are 60 to 80% Claude coding. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, honestly. Because um, like all that stuff is just so well defined at this point. It's like not really, you don't really have to make very many technical decisions, I guess. You just kind of have to like pull things out of a database, make like a few little decisions, and then like return it. And it's a lot of boilerplate to do all of that. I mean, granted, there it does get, obviously it's more complicated. There's always like little things you have to do, but yeah, I mean it's pretty impressive. So I will be honest though, I recently I paid for Claude, the $20 a month Claude thing, and Claude is way, way better than Gemini. Um, I don't know if it's just like an effort thing because I think that Gemini does understand the stuff. I just think it doesn't try very hard, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain. Like I'll ask Gemini a question. Gemini like won't read any of my code and give me an answer. Claude will actually like it'll like read my code and like make a decision or like make feedback based off of what it read. But Gemini gives me YouTube Premium, so I'm a little bit like, I'm pretty sure it does at least. So I don't want to cancel that one now, but I don't think it's as good at for coding. Like I don't even want to use it for vibe coding anymore. For some vibe codings, for some stuff, vibe coding works. Small, well-defined greenfield web app. It'll probably 99% one-shot it. On the lower, simpler end, large category of apps, you can just do and better than the average dev. Yeah, I do think that it like I'm thinking back with some of the people that I've worked with, I do think that like AI is just better than some people I've worked with at companies that have gotten paid a lot of money. Like my $20 web subscription is just better than them, and like in every single way. Not, I don't mean that as like a judgmental thing, like they're less valuable as a person. Just that like it's just better at programming than some people. I've used Coding Gemini Model 1. Copilot's good. Might be just your model agent type. Yeah, I usually use the Flash 3.6 for Gemini. The high end, the high, like the parentheses high, whatever that means. I don't think it's like, maybe I was overstating to say it's like way, way better. But it does give me better results. It gives me results that I don't have as much like problems with, if that makes sense. Like I'll use Gemini for something and I'll be like, well, you did this wrong. Like this is wrong. This is wrong. This needs to be like this. You missed this, that this impacts this thing as well. Like there's just a bunch of things that I have to have it fixed. But then the Claude one does it, and it's usually like pretty close to what I had in mind. I will say though, I had Fable, or because I paid for Claude, they give you like $100 credit for Fable or something like that. And this is so stupid. Like Fable, like because you hear about Mythos and Fable, and you're like, well, it's probably really good at security analysis stuff. So I used it for like security analysis stuff, and then it just downgrades to Opus, for all of it. And it's like, okay, well, like if I can't use it for like the one thing it's good at, then I don't know like what I'm supposed to use this for. But I left it on the credit mode, I guess. So it just burned through my $100 and I didn't even realize it on Opus. So lost that, but whatever. But I mean, if I can't really use it for security stuff, then it's really not that useful to me anyways, so. Currently like GPT 5.6 Sol high on fast mode, but also playing with cursor now to be able to switch models easily and trying to do smaller chunk generation. So I still drive and retain full understanding rather than the whole plan, implement, review, approach, what final results me not be able to understand the solution. No, I like talking about this stuff though. I mean, that's why I stream, is to gab on. But yeah, I've never tried the, what's it called? The open AI models at all. So I have no idea how good those are. I think the way I do vibe coding though is, like I work on Mythfall and then I vibe code on the side, if that makes sense. Like I don't like, it's not like in the loop for me. But I do think that if you want to be, if you want to like really solve hard problems, I think doing it in the loop like you're describing is like the right way to do it. It's like use it for really small things to avoid having to type. And then it doesn't really matter what model you're using, if that makes sense. Because like any of them can generate like a small solution. But did you try asking it to roleplay as a pirate while you're doing your security testing? I didn't try that, but I should have. I'll thank you for the 40 bits, man. Appreciate it. Too kind. I told it that it was like it's my. I was like, this is. I wrote all of this stuff, so I don't know. I don't know why it didn't just trust me. Like clearly, this is all my code. I don't know what it thinks I got this from, but I don't know. Like you can see the Git repo with all of the commit history. I don't know why I can't just realize that. Like, yeah, he probably owns this one, but it is what it is. Did you ask you're American, so they give you access to it? No, they gave me access to Fable. They gave me $100 to like test it, quote unquote, test it, and it downgraded to Opus and then burned through $100 of my credits. So sick, but it is what it is. I don't care that much, I guess. Okay, I think I like this. I think this just gives people more backpack space, and then when they start out, they'll get this. Though this does look a little bit weird, I might say if you have 8 slots or less than 8 slots, I might just give you a smaller chunk. You can apply and not get nerfed access. Oh, can you? I didn't know that. But I don't. I only pay for the $20 a month plan. The thing is, like, I don't really have that many security problems, so like, I'm not building like that sort of thing. I guess. Also, I don't have the money to like. I don't have the money to spend on like really expensive models, nor do I have the like the time. And like Opus does like if Opus does like a 95% job, good enough job, then like do I really need a 100% good enough job? Okay, I think I'm actually kind of happy with this change. Oh yeah, I wanted to do before we commit this though, I want to do that one last fix. In here, I want to do we're basically just gonna say we're gonna do this. If the number of slots we have in our backpack is less than 8, then we're gonna squeeze it in half and do 4 with the 4, and we will also squeeze the rectangle. So rect is rect.cut right, or I think I can just write half. Right half. So like that. So we'll change it to 4, and then we'll do right half. They'll just take the right half of the rectangle, which I think is going to be correct. I might need to resave it so that it fixes the rectangle part. There we go. Okay, I think I like that. So then if it's small, if it's a really small backpack, it'll just be this little section. Are you still happy with going with the WebGL approach for client versus native? I go Evident or something. I wrote my own custom rendering library that uses WebGL and OpenGL. So I have a web client at mythfall.com, and then I have a Steam page with a demo for Mythfall as well. So I do have native and the web client, but in general, I'm pretty happy with it. One thing I will say though is that I thought when I first was writing rendering code, I thought I enjoyed it, or maybe it was interesting. But now at this point, I like don't. I've lost all enjoyment for writing OpenGL and WebGL. It was super fun when I was learning it, but now that I have to like kind of solve hard problems, I get a little bit like um I don't know. I just get like tired with working on it. It doesn't spark my joy. Let me put it that way. Um Rendering code just feels like a lot of game specific trade-offs, which isn't super fun to me. Uh so like solving like text rendering, for example, that was such a pain. Um like you just have to understand so much to like finally get it to work. And there's so many ways you can do it. They all have like very nuanced trade-offs as well. Um, so I ended up going with signed distance fields so that you can zoom in to see the text at different scales clearly. But other people will like text atlas different render sizes. So like just having like this little feature like that makes you have to do everything in a specific way. And then I don't know, it's just kind of a pain. And there's obviously tons of performance issues as well. And there's hardware compatibility problems that you run into too, which isn't fun. But I mean, it's pretty much there, so I think I'm happy with it. Oh, it's weird. This doesn't really have a border anymore. Has that been gone for a while? Do I have some like UI slider scale thing? Uh, yeah, check out this crisp text with this border. That's the other nice thing with signed distance field is that you can add borders really easily. Like you can border your text. That's hard. Also, transparency is hard. Because with transparency, you have to like sort everything just right. So every single sprite in my game has to sort now. And I use a Z buffer as well. Or I use a Z buffer for sorting. So like getting that all correct is a pain. And if you add like one little memory or alignment bug, everything just turns black and like you're kind of at your own wits to solve the problem. But you know, like that sort of stuff is more solvable now with AI, I guess. You can just be like, hey, like I have this problem. Can you like dig through my code and find the bug? It probably would find it. You should swap your inventory blocks around so it expands up. What do you mean? You mean put equipment at the bottom? What's up, Kazine? Oh no, Emacs gang. I know. Sorry. Bag gear bag. Bag gear bag. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, this is like the backpack is different than the inventory. So I do want it to feel different, I guess. Like you can't consume out of the thing. You can't consume out of the inventory. Out of the backpack, I mean. I see what you're saying though. It would be like equipment. Um you're saying equipment down here, backpack or inventory, and then backpack at the top. Yeah. I don't know why, but that feels backwards to me. Like it feels like equipment should always be above inventory slots. Maybe that's just because that's what Rome of the Mad God did, but I don't know. But I think I'm gonna leave it like this. One thing I'm not sure of though is if I want to have a button here, because I think people don't realize this is a button. I might put a button here. So I'm a little bit uncertain. I'm a little bit uncertain. The problem is I don't know what a new player sees. I guess people really haven't complained that much that they can't understand how the backpack opens. But there is room for it here. Let's just see what that looks like. We'll just add a button and we'll see. Mm. All right, settings. What's the next one? Care or skill tree, equipment. It looks like I already had a backpack button. Wonder if this will just work. I guess I had it like this and I undid it. I'll be while this is rebuilding, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go make another cup of coffee. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. We're back. Okay, the button popped up. That's not what I want the button to look at, like, really. I guess I had another style here. Maybe this is the actual button. It's funny because I'm going back and forth at this point because it must have been a button. But we'll see. What's up, Spicy Salsa? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. That is the icon. I guess I changed the buttons. They used to be colored. So I might need to make another. I might need to draw here. Hold on. Oh no, it's gonna be in this one, maybe? This one, maybe? Do I have one? This is what I used to use. This is one of my ideas for the skill tree. Actually looks kind of cool. But we need to do or hold on. Oops. We'll do backpack. Unless there's already a backpack. That's super weird. Wait, why is this showing? Oh, I guess I already had backpack. It's just strange that something's showing here, but there's nothing. Oh, there's a third layer. That's why. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's do this then. Whoops. Okay, that should be the backpack icon now. I don't know if this is gonna hot. I might need to hot reload it this way. I think it's gonna reload. We also need to make this white and black and white. But I think that oh shoot, this might be the button I use for the bank though too. Oh no, I use a special button with an arrow, so it's different. Oh, I forgot to change this back to viewable. Okay. All right, we're getting closer. All right, I'll get my coffee. We're back. All right. Coffee made. You know what I've been enjoying recently is putting milk in my coffee. That's something I never really did, but it's actually a lot better than I thought it was. Okay, we just need to change the color here. That seems very responsive in the client. Is it optimistic and the client calculates damage, etc., then waits for the server to confirm if it mismatch or rollback? In other words, is the server authoritative? And does the client try to do tricks to make it seem like everything is instant? Sorry if you talked about this challenge before. I need to search through your archives. Archives. No, you're good. How it works is only a wee bit of milk. Yeah, just a splash. Just to make it just to lighten it up a little bit. How it works though is the game, there's like a core. Should I draw this? There is like a in the code base, there's a package called core. And this is the core game simulation. So this does like collisions, movement, like damage calculations, character calculations, stat calculations, all of that stuff happens in the core. And it happens on a fixed interval. So the core is like deterministic. Okay, so the core is deterministic. That's like the main property of the core simulation. And then the client, part of its frame is running the core. And then the server, part of its frame is running the core. So these both deterministically simulate the game. So the client can like run ahead a little bit, and the client can run ahead a little bit if there's some lag, and the server can catch up and validate that everything it said was true once its input comes in. So the client, all it really sends is a few like confirmation states, like what it thinks its health is, what it thinks it did damage to, what it thinks it applied status effects to, like on damage status effects and things like that. And then it sends its inputs. So it says like, oh, I was pressing like up and right, and then I clicked here, and then I did this. My mouse was in this spot. And then all of that gets deterministically simulated and verified on the server once the data all goes over there. And actually, this most recent patch I added, it used to be this where if you lag too much, it would just hard disconnect you, because you can do like lag attacks where you lag your game and or like pause your game or something like that, and then everything kind of just gets like the ticks are like this normally, and then you like lag switch, and then now the client's got to like pack 20 ticks into like some really tight package, some like really fast time because you waited a bunch, you like lagged here. And then on the outset, like you've essentially squashed in like 20 seconds of combat into like nothing because like all of the attacks got squashed together. So you only really see like the last part of that. But what I in this most recent patch that I haven't deployed yet, what'll change to is all of these are going to get replayed on the client. They're just going to get replayed at like 2x speed until you catch back up. So it's going to be a little bit of like time warping. That way it lets people lag a little bit more without like hard disconnecting them. Because right now I disconnect people after a very short period. But yeah, I guess to answer your question, the game is deterministically simulated. So the client says what it did and what it thinks the result is, and the server confirms that basically. And there's a little bit of leeway that it gets, but not a ton. And then for things like pulling things out of bags and stuff like that, the client how'd you word it? The client optimistically assumes things like that you got the item or stuff like that, and then the server basically will like confirm that event. Because like if two people pull the same thing out of a bag, only one of them can get the item, but both people could think that they got it. So that's kind of how it works. I almost want to make this a little bit bigger. I'm gonna do this. I'll just do one of them actually. Is it queued on the server side? Say 50 clients all pick up a new sword. Yeah, it gets queued on the server side. Obviously there's network lag, so if you have less lag, you're probably gonna be the one that picks up the sword if 50 people are, and you have the lowest lag. That's probably gonna be the determining factor. It's hard to do it any other way, if that makes sense. That said, though, all that said, that's too many colors. Most there's only two types of things that people can pull out of. There's shared things like a general loot bag, like one of these gray bags anybody can pull out of. Actually, there's three things. There's soulbound items, like if I drop this on the ground, it's in a soulbound chest. Only you can, it's in a chest, I guess. Chests are like soulbound, so only you can pick up this. Nobody else can pick this up. Anybody can pick this up, so the only place it can happen is for these. And these are usually for like low tier loot. Like people aren't like really fighting over basic items. And then when you fight a boss, everybody gets their own specific chest that's completely different. So because everyone's chest is different, like there's really no risk of people overlapping, if that makes sense. So eventually we'll probably need US, EU, Asia servers to find a millisecond lag. Yeah. I will, if I get enough players, I will spread out. But I think how the lag system works, it's pretty tolerant. Like people do play from Asia and Europe, and they don't have that big of problems. And I've tested it with high lags. It's obviously not like they're just gonna lag more because packets just get dropped and the retries take a long time, and they'll disconnect more and stuff like that. I'm hoping with the time warping though, it'll make it a little bit better, but it's hard to tell without actually people using it yet. So, I don't really like this, to be honest. Also, this one needs to go down with the button. But yeah, I definitely need more users for that. But it's just one of those things. Like I'd rather, if I'm not filling up one server, then I'm only gonna have one server. Man, this doesn't really look that good. I think I need more black and white. Say for instance, I also need to make it larger, I think. Say for instance, we want to generate loot for a kill. Is that a server side API call which is queued? E.g. 50 clients all need loot. Yeah, so how that works is there's kind of like a death rattle event. There's like a death on death event that triggers for any monster, and it basically rolls. Well, so there's two types of monsters, I guess, because there's the two types of bags. There's there's like the general bags. For these ones, there's just a percentage chance it drops general loot, and then anybody can come pick it up. So it doesn't really have to know who needs to get loot. So those ones are simple. The ones that are more complicated are the soulbound loot droppers. So when you defeat a boss, you have like a participation score based on how much you assisted with the dungeon and how much damage you did and how early you did damage in the boss fight and maybe eventually like how much you heal people and stuff like that. But that stuff's not really coded yet. Anyways, so that all gets aggregated into your final participation score. And if you met the participation requirements, which are usually pretty low, it's basically just to prevent people from like running at the last second, dealing one damage and then getting a drop. So if you do enough damage and you help enough in the fight, then you'll get a drop. And basically the monster dies, and then he just goes through every single person who did damage to them, ensure that they met their participation requirements, and then it generates loot for that one person, spawns a chest, and then that person gets a soulbound chest for with all of their items that they got. So it's not like an API call. It's like the server knows that the monster died, obviously, and it knows who did what damage, and so um, it can decide how to dole out, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. Let's go ahead and we'll go multiplayer networking, very confusing for a newbie like myself. It is very complicated. If it makes you feel any better, I I had some massive struggle getting through it, so it's just not simple. Everything's just very everything's just a little bit harder. So I might just do this. Can't I just do black? No. It looks off center to me somehow. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's centered though. Hmm. This one, then this one. I wonder how this looks. I have some videos, some very old videos about all this stuff, but it might be a little outdated now because I think I've changed it since I had those. Like I think I did used to do it the way that like first person shooters work where they have what's it called? There's a name for this sort of thing. I just can't remember the name. It's called like where you have a prediction queue. You have a prediction queue and you reverse back and then replay. There's like a word for that. I don't know what it is. I definitely used to know the word, but I don't remember it now. Um, client side prediction. I thought there was a client side like reconciliation maybe or something like that. I don't remember. Yeah, it like what I'm trying to it's like the client side prediction thing. I mean like yeah, but there's a word for like where you enqueue all of the inputs and then the server says like, "Oh, or hold on, I can draw it. You have all of these inputs, you know, and you have this buffer, this like buffer queue, and then the server like you're just kind of guessing what's happening, you're predicting forward, and then the server comes back and they say like, "Oh, like this prediction was wrong. So like this one's wrong." So then you just like fork out. You have like the new result, and then you take this queue. You take this queue, like push it up, and then just repredict everything to get back to the current state. Server reconciliation. Is that what it's called? Clients, I don't know. It's something like that. Like that's how it works. I don't remember what it's called though. The problem is this has too many grays in it. I feel like these are all white. I might just do a two-tone here. Like I might just do this. Yeah, I was learning about it, then decided to stick with single player. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't know, does this look like a backpack? I could also use a bag icon, which would probably be a better silhouette. Yeah, let's go with the bag icon, I think. Icon, or I wonder, how big are these? This is a 16 by 16 button. So it needs to kind of fit into a 12 by 11. Let me see. Hold on. Why did I move that in? I guess I could just do this, huh? It looks a little squashed though. I guess if you learn to implement it correctly, you can reuse it in multiplayer going forward. That's true, yeah. The problem I found with multiplayer games is that every multiplayer game is a little like just a little bit different. So it's hard to just like I mean like, yeah, they're just like they all just have like very unless you're making like the same exact multiplayer game like you're making a first person shooter and you're making another first person shooter, then you could probably reuse it. Just like the requirements are all like so slightly different that they make you change a lot, I feel like. This could maybe be okay. I almost just want to do all white though. Let's see this. Sorry, it's really hard to see what it's going to look like until it's actually in the game. But I do think I think that that sort of networking simulation stuff is super interesting. Like that's the part I enjoy about Mythfall. I did rewrite it like 3 or 4 times though, so um I wonder if I can do what color did I use for this? This is the most simple thing. Each client simulates everyone. I would avoid this, leads to complexity and rubber banding. Yeah, it just depends on what instead just send events and validate the parts you want to avoid cheating on. Yeah, I think it just depends on the game, like how you're gonna what sort of game it is matters for how you're gonna simulate the networking, I feel like. This might be too much. I might do this actually. Let's go with this. Let's see how this looks. Oops. All right, hold on. It's like so I like can't even see the different color. It's so like blended. Oh, there it is. Okay. Actually, that maybe looks okay. Mm. Maybe I'll leave. I think I might leave both buttons for now. I feel like this one needs to be a toggle button though. Single player has been done to death. 95% of progress is left in multiplayer action MMO specifically. Yeah, I think there's room in everything, right? Like people still come up with weird, unique ideas on things. I haven't played Scrap Mechanic though yet. What is it? I haven't even heard of it actually. MMOs are a weird genre though. It's really good, basically Minecraft too. Oh, really? Wasn't there another one, another Minecraft 2 that somebody made? Some company that made you build voxel cars. Oh, that's cool. It was called something. But I think what I heard happened was that like Minecraft wasn't letting them like run a private server or something. They were like a private server company or something, or like YouTuber maybe. I don't know. And they'd make private servers on Minecraft, and then people um they ended up making their whole entire game. If you said the name, I would know it. I don't. I just can't remember it. But I haven't heard of Scrap Mechanic yet. But the weird one thing that's weird about MMOs is that it feels like the progress matters so much. Like it's like the almost the only thing that matters. Not that like the gameplay can't be like bad, obviously, but it feels like the progression side matters just like so much. Maybe that's just my interpretation of MMOs though. Hightail, that's what it's called. Thank you. That's what it's called. Oh, interesting. This is a bug. Dungeon. Was Hightail not fun? I don't really play. I played Minecraft when it was first kind of being in development, but I didn't really stick with it. It was fun, but it was just. I feel like the survival part wasn't hard enough for me to like enjoy trying to survive because I was at the time. I feel like I was playing like I was playing like what's it called? Like Nazi zombies and stuff like that on Call of Duty, and like that was fun. Like I was thinking of something like that, you know, where like it's really hard to survive and like you're barely making it to the next wave. But then Minecraft's more of like go mine stuff, and so at the time I didn't really like love it that much. Building a tower defense MMO. and it will be balance that matters, players versus server. Oh yeah, I mean balance matters for sure. It's just that I feel like people need to, for some reason, when something's online, people need to progress towards it, you know? Like you take like something like I don't know if there's permanent progression in Vampire Survivors because I never played it, but assuming there wasn't, I think people would have fun playing Vampire Survivors single player, just trying to like get to a certain number of waves or something. But in an MMO, like that wouldn't be enough because it's like has some social aspect to it. Like there needs to be something that's like I don't know how to explain it. Like there needs to be something that like people have that makes them what's it called? Like show off how good they are, like what sort of status they have, or like what they've accomplished, or things like that. Building the world sounds cool. Oh, this is a drop. That's the wrong one. Undercourt. This one has a loot drop, which is pocketed cape, I bet. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna do this. Oops. Ah, I keep typoing. Okay. Um, resource, wood, drift. I do like tower defense games. I don't know what the bug is here. I think I just do static loot roller. Okay, that's what it is. Because I needed to type get or something. Okay, that should fix that. It was just in the panic unknown. Oh, that's fine. We'll just do because this takes an any. That's why that fixed the lint. We'll just do this. Sorry, this is like a fake dungeon. That's a placeholder right now. I think that this should fix it. But the bug was that on every item tip, there's it shows where it drops from, and it was showing it dropping from this area. Now let me go just double check that that got fixed. It was showing it dropping from this dungeon that didn't exist yet because it was just like a placeholder drop. Necromancer's Garden. I guess it did fix that. I'm trying to remember how do these. I didn't make these like. Let me just. Sorry. Let me just go look. Yeah, it must be an equipment thing, right? Like it's a part of like this T5 materials, generic food, ectoplasm. No, it's like what is drop? What I don't see cape anywhere. Let me go to item ID. Cape, cargo. Yeah, it's just in tier 4. Hmm. I don't actually think I think I can remove these though. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of changes with um, loot tables. I think I checked all those. Ah, there it is. Oh, it's because of the initial roll. I don't really like that very much, to be honest. I'm just gonna remove that. Okay, a little bit closer. We removed those. We removed that. Oh, sorry. I need to. I'm just gonna delete all this. That dungeon doesn't exist yet. Okay, I think I'm happy with this. I think I might make that a little darker. It's crazy how easy it is to get sidetracked if you like find some other little bug that you need to fix. We can close that. We can close this. I think I like the silhouette shape though. I think I just need to make this a little bit, whoops, more contrasty. All right, let me build this. All right, let's see how this looks. I could do black as well. Oh, something I'm realizing with this button, that looks better. Something I'm realizing with this button though is that if you don't have a backpack, oh, I just need to hide it if you don't have a backpack. If you don't have a backpack, which I think I can actually check pretty easily. All I need to do is draw a backpack overlay. Sorry, I'm trying to, I guess I could pass the backpack config in. Show backpack. Laser for the equipment slot. Um, but basically what we need to do is we need to hook in somewhere to check to see if we have a backpack. The problem is it's in like a different area now. Because we only want to show the button when the backpack is actually there. Which we have the backpack. Wait, can't I just see like I wonder if I can just pass backpack here to the show buttons. We know backpack's not nil because we've already checked it there. I think that this, yeah, update backpack to config. Mm, okay. We'll just check the backpack length. So we'll say if backpack dot slots, the number of backpack slots is less than or equal to 0, or sorry, is greater than 0. Then we'll do that backpack section. All right, let's see if that fixes it. Okay, that did not fix it. Okay, we'll just look at the backpack config, I guess. It is weird that that doesn't change when you unequip it. I wonder if I should just fix that. Like, I think how I have it right now is as like a safety thing, I don't wipe your backpack when you unequip it. Because I don't want, I'm so cautious about people losing items. Can you check if the actual slot is null? Yeah, I mean, like, I'm just trying to think if I should fix it that direction or if I should just check the backpack config. Because right now I don't, wipe your backpack when you unequip your cape because I prevent you from unequipping your backpack if you have items. But if there was some bug that let people unequip their backpack while there was items inside of it, if I wipe your backpack, then you lose all your items that were in there. So what I decided to do at the time was just leave the backpack size how it was, um, to help protect your items. And that this has actually happened before. So I think I'm not going to fix this that way. I think I'm just going to check your backpack config. So just some defensive coding over here. Just a defensive coder. But I think it only happened from database migrations where like an item ID got like messed up or the size changed or something like that. So that's fine though, because this isn't that big. I just have to pass something different in instead of the backpack. I pass in the inventory, or no, I pass in the equipment. Or I might just get the backpack state outside. Is none returns false. Okay. Well, you might have a cape item that doesn't have. So I guess I'll just pass in the cape item config. And then this is going to be, I guess it's an item config, isn't it? Is it db.itemconfig? Oh, it's called config item. Okay, we have the keep item config. Then down here, we just have to do, or should I just get backpack config? Oh, I guess it's just right there. Yes, we'll just check this basically. And that should do it, I'm pretty sure. I think this is all hot reloadable as well, so I think we're good. But I think I should be able to unequip it, that now this should disappear. Yeah, I'm very careful about swapping backpacks. Like if you swap a backpack, I copy all the slots over that exist to the new one. Because eventually I do want to make it so you can up your backpack size, but or maybe downsize it if all of the end slots are blank. I might do that. Backpacks are the real end game. I kind of want to remove this now. I kind of want to remove it and replace it with a number that shows how many items are in your backpack. But I think I'm gonna leave it for this right now because I'm still not 100% sure that people will like this button more than this button. I don't know. I'll just hear what people say this next patch with it. Oops. Okay. Let me just flip through this really quick. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Increased backpack sizes. Improve backpack UI a bit. Let me add the patch note here. Backpacks are now much larger. The UI has been slightly improved. Let me extend that. I also need to, because I have new art here, so I need to push these. New backpack button art. Push. I hate this pop-up that Emacs does whenever I go to that repo. I should read it one day and figure out what the problem is. Maybe we'll make upgrade to pull in that change. While that's running though, let's go ahead and yeah, I think this is pretty much done. I don't think I'm gonna do the center screen one. I think that's just gonna be too problematic because it's a bullet hell. Because if you ever need to interact with your backpack in a fight, you're just gonna die. So I just need to make it a little bit more friendly, user friendly. Okay, I had some skill tree nodes I wanted to add, but I might save these for when I have a bunch more. I did nerf greatsword scaling, but and I did want to add a skill that makes it. I guess I could just add this one. All right, let me push all this. Push it to GitHub. Okay. This was feedback from last patch. And I guess I could go through some of this. Like I could do this one. Poison could just deal damage equal to the number of stacks, which is kind of an interesting difference. And let it stack up to 100, maybe. Let's try that. What did it's called like on, or no, it's a status tick. Yeah. So I was trying to remember what the file was called that had this stuff in it. This was like literally I had to do like, this would be kind of cool. So poison damage should deal damage equivalent to how many stacks you have. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure, I'm trying to see what I exactly did here. Filter damage if damage is 0. Wait, filter damage. Oh, if they're invulnerable or intangible. Okay. Then we apply damage and we do damage event. That's fine. Is this on player? This is on. Sorry, I need to. Non-player. Percentage health. Yeah, that's the wrong one. This was gonna make it deal poison damage. I guess I could do that for players. Do players ever get poisoned that long? Yeah, you know what? Let's do it for both, I guess. I just need to do a double check. I need to double check to make sure I don't poison people for a long time. I doubt I do. I just need to look for the worm biome to see how long people get poisoned for. Because if I poison people for 10 seconds, that's a ton of damage. I don't think I can. That's not wouldn't be fair. But what would it be if I poison someone for 5 seconds? It is 5, 9, 12, 14, 15. It's 15 damage. Which isn't bad, actually. Okay, I'm going to change this whole block, this whole case. How it used to work was, oh, thank you, Iggy Boo Boo, for the follow. Appreciate it. How it used to work was once you got 100 points, it was like Slay the Spire. That was what I was inspired by. If you get 100 stacks, it just pops and does a ton of damage. But actually now it's maybe more like Slay the Spire, where it does equal to the number of stacks. I was trying to get it to do one big hit though, but I think doing it per tick it kind of works too. Sorry, let me just go to poison. I mean, it's really just this, isn't it? Damage amount is an int of dir. Status. This is setting. Clear the stacks and apply the damage. Oh, okay, but we don't do that. Do we decrement the status tick here? Or I do that. Oh, I do it at the top. Okay. Percentage health, we don't do that. Damage amount. Minimum player. I think we don't do the minimum for players because yeah, we won't do the minimum because it's going to be a special type. This was mining it basically. So if you had like one, this really doesn't matter for either, I guess, either case. But for like burn, for example, if they had really low health, it does a percentage off of their current health. You want to have a minimum, so it deals at least like 5 damage or something. Right, we filter it out if it doesn't do damage, if they have like invulnerability or something. Then we just apply it. I think this works, but I think there's still one change. Maybe it's already there though. Well, we need to have a maximum number of stacks. let's just test this, I guess. I'm just curious what happens here. Oops. Because I think it's gonna keep counting up. I think it's gonna go to like 255 though, which is the max number, max UN8 for status effects, which I guess is okay. I guess it doesn't matter that much. It's really just a balance question of how much damage I want to let people tick for. Because it's constantly decrementing. Also, do these happen once a second or once every 5 seconds? I can't remember how I left it. I think it's once per second. Base status ticks. Yeah, 1 second. Okay. All right, I need to get some poison. Do I have a kit for this? No, I don't. Sometimes I have kits for testing things like lifesteal and stuff. Let's find the hat. There's a hat that gives me, there's like the blight cap hat. There it is. Poison chance. I must have a I have a dagger. That's pretty cool. I'm curious what it gets up to though. It would also be nice to show the number. I wonder if I have a way to code that, like above their head. Yeah, my guess is it's gonna go to 255, and that's the max hit it's gonna do. Or it might be 254 because I think it decrements the duration before it triggers the damage. Oops. My cat bumped my mouse. But we'll get it to 255 and then we'll just to test that feature, which I think is okay. And if I need to bounce it, I'll bounce it later. And we'll let it count down. I'm just curious. I just want to see it count down a bit. It looks like it is counting down, but man, I'm trying to think if there's any more poison percentage items. Or attack speed item or something. Or is 125 the highest? Oh, 126. 126. 126 times 2, what is that? It might be an int. Oh, it's probably an int, not a, not, and it's probably an int 8, not a uint 8. That's probably what it is. Yeah, it's an int 8, because I guess they can go negative. So I guess this is okay. This is actually pretty decent then, I think. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The problem is it's kind of a lot of damage over a long time. But it takes a long time to build up that much poison, I feel like. Let's go do just a we'll just go, I'm just gonna go fight something. What am I? I'm like level 10. We'll go to do like Mothlet or something like that. I'm just curious, like what kind of how this kind of feels, and like what sort of poison level I get to. Yeah, I mean, I really don't get that high, but it's still like a little bit of extra damage boost, you know. But like most of the damage is coming from the weapon, so that's probably what I want. But yeah, getting like an extra tick for like 7 is pretty good. Like it makes it a lot stronger, especially on bosses that are stationary. I'm trying to like look at the damage numbers so I'm not like watching the bullets at all. I don't think I have any more foods. I might, yeah, I guess that's fine. Yeah, a narrow escape. Okay, I think I like that poison change. I should probably do a patch soon. I might try to go through and just fix a few little bugs. Poison now deals damage equal to the number of stacks. I don't think it's that important to show the poison number on top of this is for players and monsters. Because I think players it doesn't add. I think it gets stuck at 5. Do need to go test that though. I'm just gonna do a max here. Hold on. I just did like a crystal max. I just don't want to die like instantly. I went to the wrong biome. Oh, I put it over here. I forgot about that. Yeah, it just gets reset to 5. So that's fine. That was weird because I saw 2 green, but I think one of them was my healing and one of them was my. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, that's the because I came back, it was healing but also dealing damage. Okay. I'm gonna start with poison. Poison now deals damage equal to the number of stacks for players and monsters. I'll leave that one just in case I go back. I'm trying to think, does this does work for everybody, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because it must have worked before. I also need to make resonance chambers easier. Let me find the easy stuff and put them at the top of here. Oops. Darkness is too dark. This is such a hard one because I don't know if it's a monitor thing, like a player monitor. Maybe I need like a brightness slider or something. It's nice to have like different lighting levels. I feel like it adds a lot of ambiance, but I understand people do want to like have a super clear view of everything. Focusing rod. The beam does not feel like it lasts long enough to be able to properly aim for moving enemies. I bet one could get used to it, and the item feels really cool and unique, but because it's different from normal ones, it's really hard to hit compared to what I'm used to. We'll look at this one. We'll look at resonance chambers, this one, and then what is this one? This one is easy, but I don't know if I want to do that. Random idea that I came across my mind after noticing a lot of empty space in the hub world and trying to think of ways to fill it. One hall of heroes, separate. 2 additional halls, one for weekly, monthly. This were added, maybe 2 new halls, similar to the current hall. I see, okay. This was more of a like a leaderboard thing. Okay. Let's look at the focusing rod. That should be in the wand area. I'm gonna look at this one too, because I think this one's pretty similar. I might be going the wrong direction. Is this it? Here we go. It might just take too long to like activate. We could make it activate faster, because I guess I do kind of agree with that. But it's also a tier 2. Is it a tier 3? It's a tier 2 item. Also, I wonder if this, I wonder how much DPS this actually does. This seems kind of weak now. What does it give though? Does it give anything? Also, what happens with crown? Oh, it does 2 probably. Where are the hats? Where it despawns? Oh, where are you? What's the scaling on this? Is it 33? It's also pretty short range too. I just feel like the DPS is too low on this for how hard of an item it is to get. Oh, I'm maxed as well. That makes it even worse. It's funny because this is almost the same DPS. Rate 3.3. It just takes too long to spin up, I think. Let's go to wand. Focus. Is that in staff? Focus. What is this in? Oh, beam. It's a beam weapon. One 135, 4. Sorry, I need to look at what these numbers mean. Width is wider. Blue, red, 100 milliseconds. This is probably the one. Anticipate time. 100, activate, 200, 100. 20 maybe? I don't have a spreadsheet section for this type of weapon. Let's oh, actually I could just look at what DPSs I target here. I'm just gonna look at what I use for the dagger. Sorry. I'm looking at my spreadsheet. Dagger is there. DPS 5. What is that? DPS 10. Oh, that's with 5 strength or stat or whatever. Okay, let me just test. Oh, did I? Oh, I'm gonna have to pick everything back up again. Are we shooting for I guess it's a tier 3. Or sorry, it's a tier. Is it a tier 3? Am I maxed? Yeah, we need to log on as a different character. All right, I just need to go die really quick. But we're shooting for tier 2 weapons, we're shooting for like 40 DPS on at level 5. Focusing rod, and then this. So now we're level 0. So we'll get to level 10. Okay. Like this is way too low. Not that it's like a huge thing. I need to see what I'm getting, so I know how to adjust it. Also, what is this? This is tier 2. Okay. Which I think is what we said. We're looking for like 35 DPS. It also pierces, so we could maybe go a little lower. That's a pretty good damage advantage. Maybe we'll let's go to 10 and see what that gives us for the focusing rod. Also, it weirdly seems like slower. Oh, it's slower because it doesn't shoot as rapidly. That's okay though. All right, let's go to 10. See what DPS we get here. I'd be fine with 30 DPS, I think. I think that's okay. All right, let's look at this. This is a tier 5. Let's see. That was tier 2. 35 is the number I put. And this is a tier 5. So I shoot for 75, 70 probably. 70 to 75. Let's see what we get. This is probably too strong now. Just because it pierces. It's just like too much damage. Just a little bit too much though. We want to go down by like, what's my rate? 5. We want to go down by like 2 damage, I think. I guess it's this one. Let's go to, I'm gonna go to 17 because it pierces as well. There we go. All right, let's see what we get to. That's pretty good. This one doesn't really give you anything else, does it? Which I guess is okay. That makes it a little bit weaker as well. So I wonder if it's now underpowered still. But I mean, it was way underpowered before, so. At least this puts it kind of in the same level. It's also tricky because I haven't really gone through and done any skill tree analysis stuff like optimizing builds and trying to do it that way. So, all right, we'll do this. I'm not gonna make a commit message for this. I'm just going, maybe I should. I'll do like as a fix area. Um, all right, we'll say that. Okay, improve beam weapon damage. All right, let's look at the resonance chambers now. I guess I just want this, yeah. Oops, wrong one. Wrong portal. That is so weird. Nothing spawned. Oh, there it came. Wait, what happened there? Wait, that's so strange. Sorry, I need to like investigate this now. Was that a hot reloader? That was probably a hot reloader bug, actually. Because probably what happened was I entered and then the game hot reloaded. Because every time it launches, it tries to hot reload. I'm trying to get it to hot reload first, and then we'll. Okay. Maybe not. Or no, maybe just because it's hot reloading, the monster's respawning with and it's getting offset for the timer. Let me or is it in dev? That might be in dev actually. Disable reloading. Let me do that. Unfortunately, this is going to cause a big rebuild. Hmm. All right, there we go. What's up, Terry? How's it going? Missed a lot of the stream, still got it happen. Yeah. I know I missed did I miss 2 weeks in a row? I know it's been a long time. I know I missed a lot, but how are you doing? Yeah, it didn't spawn. That's so strange. Okay, let's see how hard this is. Yeah, this is just too hard. I think this is just way too hard. Just wrote my last exam before being allowed to write my state exam. Mixed feelings. Wait, why mixed feelings? Like it's not. This isn't impossible, but it's just like too. It's too much for like a quest that you have to do 3 times. So then I started with OSRS. Pretty neat. Auto clicker next to whatever I have going. Yeah. I used to play RuneScape when I would edit videos, which was a lot of fun. Have I not done this quest? Oh. Also, I added tooltips up here. So it shows you like what you need to bring. I think you have to hand them in. That's why the quest is still 3. Yeah. I just didn't know on this account because I have a bunch of different test accounts that I use. I didn't know if I had what's it called? I thought I'd done it on all of them. All right, see it, Penguin Operator. I don't know why this is going so slow. I might remove the gaps because those are just hard to see, I feel like. This one isn't hard, but you have to like know. You have to like kind of. I don't know. I guess it could be easier. Yeah, I mean, there's like you get tough. There's some tough spots if you don't play it exactly. Like if you don't rotate right, you're just kind of screwed. Slow blues with orange spiral is my nemesis. This one? The problem is sometimes they get clustered because they aim at you. You have to be stationary at times, yes, for the blues to focus on. Yeah. Hmm. There's just something. It's something on my to-do list to make that easier. But now I'm realizing there's a bug where it's starting late. I think. I might have just adjusted some hard-coded timing on one side, but not the other. Like it should start right when that happens. Yeah, it's like 5 seconds after. Yeah, like my goal was to make it kind of like this sort of experience. Maybe not this hard though, where like you just kind of like float through and try to dodge stuff. But I wanted to make them different, if that makes sense. The problem is I feel like I can only do like one of these. Like, I don't think this is super hard. Like, I'm not really paying attention. I'm just able, you just like run through, you basically just run through gaps. I get that you can definitely fail. Like, it's definitely failable, but it's not like, maybe there's some tight gaps every once in a while. I don't know. Maybe dungeon time or dungeon spawn related again. Yeah, I mean, it's probably something like I had a number that I changed on one spot, but I didn't change on the other spot or something. If I had to guess, I think it would be that. Um, but I feel bad because you just got here, but I think I have to end stream here now. I need to go do some cleanup stuff this morning. But we actually got a good amount done. We did the we redid the what did we do? Oh yeah, we changed the backpack system, so there's more backpack space, especially earlier on. And we changed poison. Now it deals equal to the number of stacks rather than the popping idea. And then I fixed the beam weapons so they're a little bit more on par with other weapons. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So I'll let you take a screenshot if you want. But yeah, I think I'll do the new patch probably this week sometime. So, but anyways, thank you all for stopping in for a good stream, a good morning stream. It was fun, but I'm gonna hop off now. So everyone take care, have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.